LaPenta, it's WICR.
Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I am your host with the most, Jersey Joe, back with my Week 6 NFL picks. Now, I documented it the last couple weeks. It has been a struggle, but thank goodness I am back on track last week with a 13-2 overall record. Very happy with what happened last week. My only two losses were the Lions and the Bengals on Sunday night, so very good way to kind of leapfrog from here. Definitely want to build that momentum. Unfortunately, looking at the schedule, going over it very closely, this is another tough week. Last week kind of gave us some breathing room, but let's get back on track and get into the picks. With the first game on the night, tonight's Thursday night game of the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And the main thing about these Thursday night games is they've really all been blowouts. I mean, there hasn't been one close game so far. They really have been very one-sided. For the most part, all the home teams have been the dominant team in the matchups on Thursday night, but you did have the Giants going on the road to Washington and really handing it to Washington. So I'm going to go with Indianapolis here. I think Houston does have a chance. You know, part of me kind of considered taking them, but I just think at the end of the day, you've got Andrew Luck, arguably the best quarterback. I mean, look, he's just phenomenal. I love watching that guy play. And the Colts, though, not as much talent on the rest of that team, but they're on the road. I think Andrew Luck will have enough to give the Colts a tough road win. But these Thursday night games, I'm very much looking forward to seeing if that trend of just being complete blowouts will continue. We'll see tonight. Should be an interesting game. Then you have the New England Patriots going on the road against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, of course, coming off their big win against the Detroit Lions. Here, this is a tough one, you know, because New England really had that dominant win. I think we all kind of overreacted at the Monday night game when they just got it handed to them by the Kansas City Chiefs. Then they come back and they blow out what we all consider a pretty good Bengals team. So I'm going to go with New England on the road here. I'm not crazy about this one because Buffalo's given New England a lot of problems at their home place for the last couple years. I mean, this has been a very, very difficult series for the Patriots the last couple seasons. I'm just still not a buyer in Kyle Orton. I can't trust him as my quarterback, so I don't really trust them. Actually, even with Kyle Orton, I still have to check what's going on with E.J. Manuel and Kyle Orton. I haven't heard anything at this point, but as of now, I'm going to stay with New England as my winner there. Then we'll go to the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, this one, Carolina coming off a win where they really came from behind and beat the Bears at home. A lot of that was thanks to Jay Cutler really turning the ball over. The Bengals really coming off a disappointing loss on Sunday Night Football. Really, New England just handed it to them. A lot of turnovers. A.J. Green now, you have a lot of talk about him. He might not be playing this game. His toe injuries re-aggravating, get carted off the field in practice the other day, so that's a big weapon missing from Cincinnati, but the Bengals are at home here. I have them winning this game. Then you have the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is an interesting one. Pittsburgh is one of the weirdest teams in the NFL to figure out right now. I mean, they really have had a hard time figuring out this team. They really could be. I mean, right now they're 3-2. They really could be 2-4 at this point. I mean, I'm not crazy about what I've seen from Pittsburgh. I like Cleveland. Cleveland's shown a lot of grit, a lot of toughness. I mean, they've come from behind. They came from behind in that game against Tennessee last week, won the game. They should have beat Pittsburgh week 1 and come behind from that. So Cleveland is a team that if they get down, they're not going to give up. I mean, they really find ways to fight through it and get back in the game. They're at home here. I'm still not crazy about Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Cleveland here to get the win, get in their second week win in a row. Then you have the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. The Jets are just a dumpster fire right now. I mean, they really are. I mean, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that the Jets, even being the home team, are going to really move the ball and put up enough points to beat Peyton Manning. You saw last week coming off the bye, Peyton just looked so sharp. I mean, he was hitting all his receivers. He just looked like he got that rest. He's in good position right now. I think Denver will just have a field day against the Jets secondary, which, I mean, it seems like every week that's been my answer. I mean, this team's going to really just exploit the Jets secondary, and we haven't, I mean, it's proved true every single week, so I think that we will continue to see that trend going. Then you have the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, This is another one where I kind of had a tough time with it. The Lions scare me a little bit right now because Matt Stafford and the Lions offense really has had just these stretches where they can't get anything going. I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, they look very good, very organized. They're not getting a lot of penalties. I really like them on the defensive side of the ball. But offensively, they just really struggle getting any things going. I mean, they'll put up maybe a touchdown early in the game, and they'll just have these stretches where they can't get anything going. And it's very alarming because I don't think Stafford is played extremely well. Calvin Johnson might not be playing this game. He was vocal. He said he needs some rest, and I think he does. If you watch him, you just can tell he's not right now. So that's what your most important offensive weapon off the bat gone. So right there, I think I'm a little alarmed at taking the Lions. But I am going to go with the Lions here. My gut just tells me go with the Lions. Better quarterback here. Better personnel as a whole. But it would have surprised me at all if Minnesota won this game, especially being home. But I got to go with Detroit. Just something in my gut's telling me to go with the Lions. Then you have the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. Like I say on this show all the time, the Dolphins for me are one of those teams that are just so hard to figure out. Don't trust them at quarterback. Like some of their defensive personnel, but at quarterback they're just way too inconsistent. Offensively they're way too inconsistent, and they are at home. But I'm gonna go with the Packers here. I mean, we've seen the Packers really kind of start to get things moving along. Still not crazy about their defensive personnel, but offensively, they're moving the ball pretty well. I'm going to go with the Packers here to get a win on the road at Miami. This is a really tough one. One of the snoozers of the week. I mean, this isn't a very interesting game. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. I just checked a couple minutes ago to see what the status of Jake Locker was. He sat out of Wednesday practice, so generally that's not a very good sign. We'll have to update it again today, but as of right now, I'm not sure if Jake Locker is going to play. Not that it would really matter. I mean, part of me likes Jacksonville here. I mean, Blake Bortles has kind of gone off to a slower start than I expected. But this is a good game for him to kind of really come into his own. They are on the road, which is tough, but you definitely see Jacksonville has a little bit of signs of life with him at quarterback. This is a good game where he definitely has a chance to get his first win as an NFL starter. But I'm going to go with Tennessee here because Tennessee, regardless of the record right now, I mean, you could definitely tell with Ken Whisenhunt at the helm, he's kind of changing things. I mean, they're bad, but they're not bad because they're killing themselves with stupid penalties and things. They're an organized team. There's just no quarterback for this team. There's not a lot of talent on this roster, but Ken Whisenhunt, I definitely don't feel that it's from a lack of being prepared. I just think at the end of the day, this team's just not that talented. The Jaguars have still got a very young quarterback going. This is a coin flip, to be honest. It really is, so you just give Tennessee the edge because they're the home team, going with the Titans to get this win here. Now, this is a really interesting game. The Baltimore Ravens on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a game where I kind of changed my mind a couple of times on. I think you could go either way in this game. I mean, I like Baltimore partially. I mean, they haven't been too consistent so far. I have a little bit of concerns about some of the things they're doing, but they do have a strong on quarterback, well-coached team. But I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here. I like Mike Glennon a lot. I really do. I mean, the more and more I've watched this kid over the last 2 seasons, the more I'm convinced that this kid can play. I mean, he really can. And I say it a lot. I mean, the thing I really like about this kid is he's smart. He targets Vincent Jackson. I think last year, Vincent Jackson, the most targeted receiver in the NFL. He knows what weapons he has, and he's not afraid to use them wherever he has to. And when you're a young quarterback like that, sometimes that's all you got to do. Just throw the ball up to your best player, and he's going to make a play on the ball. And Vincent Jackson is a tremendous player. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here. Something about it tells me I like them. Glennon can play. He really can. It could be a close game. I mean, Flacco's got a cannon as well, so it should be a nice matchup here, but I like Tampa Bay in this one. Then you've got the San Diego Chargers on the road against the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders coming off their bye. They just fired their head coach. They've got an interim head coach, Tony Sparano. And the weird thing, I don't know if a lot of people might remember this, but last year, actually, Oakland gave San Diego one of their first losses of the season last year. It was really the only loss for the Chargers last year where I felt like Phillip Rivers just didn't have it that game. I mean, he was kind of that just was one of those games where it just wasn't Phillips' day. So part of me that went into my thinking, but I just think right now the Chargers are just playing too well. Second year in Mike McCoy's system. I just think the Chargers right now are playing so well. I've been saying it so many times, but this is the old Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers looks so good this year, so much more comfortable and confident. That confidence is back. I like the Chargers. There's a lot of change there in Oakland. I think even with the bye, that's a ton of change to ask for to play against a team that's so good right now. So I like the Chargers to keep on rolling and get another win here, going to 5-1. Then you've got the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Both teams have been a little bit weird. I mean, the Falcons on the road haven't been nearly as good as they have been at home. The Bears and Jay Cutler's just been a turnover machine, really, really putting his team in peril with those turnovers. Atlanta's been tremendous at home. Not the same team on the road, but Matt Ryan at home has been unbelievable this year. I like Atlanta to get a win at home here. We'll see if Jay Cutler cuts down on the turnovers, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's what he's always been. It's been his MO, and I don't think we should expect much different. Then we're moving along to the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. The Cowboys have looked very sharp this year. They've been playing very well, much better than I expected at the beginning of the season. But the Seahawks at home, they are just tough to beat. They really are. No one has that home field advantage like they do. I like the Seahawks to get a win here. But I'm definitely going to be excited to see how the Cowboys look, because I think they've got a lot more confidence right now, especially with the way everybody thought they were going to start to the season. They've started much better, so we'll see. I mean, this is going to show a lot of the mental toughness this team has, and that's been one of my criticisms of the past is this team, Tony Romo especially, I just don't see that mental toughness from them. So right now, I think this is going to be a big statement game for the Cowboys. How will they build on their success so far and go on the road? But I'm going to go with Seattle. Then you've got the Washington Redskins and the Arizona Cardinals. This is a weird game here. I mean, I don't like what I've seen out of Washington. They did play much better than I thought they would on Monday Night Football, but I love Arizona. I say it all the time. I think Bruce Arians is such a good coach. He really makes that team so much better than they should be, especially on the offensive side of the ball with what they've got going on at quarterback right now. So I really like Arizona. Their defensive personnel is phenomenal. They're a very, very tough team to play at home. Arizona should get another win at home here. Then you've got the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football, which is a very good matchup because both teams kind of are good teams. I mean, Eli's been playing very, very well. I really like what I've been seeing from Eli. He's not turning the ball over. The running game is helping him out. Unfortunately, Rashad Jennings is going to be out for a while, which is going to hurt because he's been playing really, really well. But I do like the Giants. I think this is going to be a good matchup here. Eli's had a lot of success at Philadelphia. He's played very well there in the past. But the Eagles are a weird team right now because offensively, I mean, they have their stretches where they're still playing well, but they also have those stretches kind of like with the Lions where they really just can't get anything going, and that's a little bit of a concern there. I do like Philadelphia, though, to get the win here. I think defensively it's going to be a close game because I'm not crazy about the Eagles' defense, but I think offensively the Eagles will always find a way to put up some points. Special teams, the Giants have really struggled, which is going to be one of the big things to watch out for in this game because the Eagles have really taken advantage of teams on special teams, and I'm really worried about that fact for the Giants, and mainly because of that and a couple other things. It'll be a close game, should be a fun game, but I'm going to go with the Eagles at home. The final game, a Monday night game, you have the San Francisco 49ers and the St. Louis Rams, and this is a weird one because this is kind of a perfect setup for the 49ers to get kind of embarrassed on Monday Night Football and lose this game. You've got all the controversy going on with the 49ers, with Jim Harbaugh, the locker room dissatisfaction with him. I mean, so there's a lot of controversy surrounding the 49ers right now. And the Rams have given the 49ers a lot of problems the last couple of years. They really have. I mean, they match up pretty well with the 49ers. Not a quarterback right now, obviously, but Austin Davis isn't embarrassing himself. He's moving the football. You saw in the game last week against Philadelphia. He almost brought them back in that game, which is very impressive. So I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. I do not like what I'm seeing from San Fran. They barely got by and got that win last week, especially with Colin Kaepernick just don't like what I'm seeing out of him. I'm not. I mean, when the running game is good, he's fine. But when you take that running game away from him, he's in big trouble. And the Rams are big up front. They're going to give the 49ers a tough time running the football. So if that happens, Colin Kaepernick's going to be in trouble. I'm going to go with San Fran here, but it is not a convincing San Fran pick. I don't like what I'm seeing from San Fran. I think it's going to be a very close game, but you've just got to look at the personnel on that team. It's too good. They should win this game, but with all the controversy surrounding them, you never know. That is going to do it, though, for the week picks. Before we cap it off, a couple things to get to. We've got huge college football games this weekend. I mean, you thought last week was going to be a good week. This week might be as good or even better. I mean, right off the bat, you've got Oregon and UCLA going to be a tremendous game. This game really could decide who comes out of the Pac-12. It's going to be really exciting. Two very good offenses, both coming off really tough losses, so they really need a win here. You've got Ole Miss and Texas A&M, undefeated Ole Miss. Texas A&M and Kenny Hill at home should be a very good SEC matchup. Auburn and Mississippi State is my game of the week. I really want to see this game. Mississippi State's beat LSU. Last week they had another huge win against A&M. And then now this week they're playing Auburn. That is a tough stretch right there. Hard to see them beating Auburn after those other two giant wins. But I'm going to go with Auburn here. I really like Auburn. I think they're going to continue rolling for a little while. After that you have Baylor and TCU. Again, another big game. TCU coming off a huge win against Oklahoma. Both teams undefeated at this point. I will go with Baylor here, but I think TCU is going to give them a game. After that, though, you have Alabama and Arkansas. Again, another very good matchup. Arkansas at home is going to give Alabama some problems. I think they'll run the ball well, but Alabama at the end of the day is a very well-coached team. Arkansas can't throw the football very well. That's going to be the deciding factor. Alabama will get a win, but it'll be a close one. Let's go on to one of the last ones. Texas and Oklahoma. How does Oklahoma bounce back after that loss last week to TCU? Texas is not that talented on the offensive side of the ball. They can make plays defensively, but on the offensive side of the ball, they struggle. That'll be the big reason Oklahoma wins this game, but it's a rivalry game. Those are always fun. After that, though, going through the schedule, not a ton of good ones left. You have Georgia, Missouri. You have USC, Arizona, which should be exciting. Arizona undefeated, beating Oregon on the road last week. USC's kind of fallen off a little bit. I mean, I think we kind of all jumped on the USC bandwagon after they beat Stanford a couple weeks ago. But USC's kind of come back to life right now. But I really want to see if is Arizona for real. I mean, they beat Oregon on the road, which should tell you something there. But I don't know if Arizona's for real. This game will tell you a lot, and it should be exciting to see. But that is going to cap it off. NFL picks, college football weekend overview. Had a Chris Bosh story to get to. Maybe we'll get to that later in the day. But thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully we'll build off the 13-2 record last week. But thanks for tuning in. Everybody enjoy the games this weekend.
Babe, I love